how to paint a rose and a rosebud, rose, a rose. So many ways to make a rose. Let's try this way. I'm going to use a rounded brush, a round brush with a point. And I've got two kinds of red here. I've got a pinkish red, which is Permanent Rose, Winsor Newton, and I've got a cadmium red. And I just, mix them, and sometimes it's handy to have a little extra place where you can make it extra light with more water with your watercolor. And I'm going to start at the top of the page so I have room for a nice long stem. And I start with sort of a spiral. So a spiral that I kind of close in on itself, that closes in on itself. And I just keep adding petals going around. Notice I'm pushing on my brush to get kind of thick and thin. And occasionally I'll come down and add lines coming down like this to show that, it's sort of ending up in kind of a cup shape eventually. And you kind of get a feel for how much you need. Sometimes there's a random petal down there. Sometimes you have to add more. This one feels like it needs more in the center, like more of a detailed middle part. That works. Okay, so it's rather free looking. Then we need a little bit of a sepal showing. There's 5 sepals, but they won't all show. Just, a couple of them show maybe. They kind of stick out in weird ways. And then you need a stem that comes directly under the center. And the start of the stem is going to be a little bit wider. And then it will, so I'm just going to carefully paint that. And then I'm just going to drag it down in a nice straight line, so that I can add leaves. So I'm adding the sepal for the leaf. The leaf comes out. I lightened up on my stroke so that it would go very thin. And my leaf, my rose leaves have like a little bit of a serration and veins. Leave some white. We left plenty of white in there, at least for now. And then I need a stem for each of these leaves. I can kind of make this leaf look like it's maybe going away from us and maybe even turning back that way, showing the under part of the leaf. Again, we want that little serration. So just try and get your veins to go from the middle to the edge. But any variation on that will work, certainly. And there you have it for starters. I could go in and add a little bit of paint and some just very, loosely to just have a little bit less white showing, but don't do too much. Just a little bit. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Little review. Quickie review. Okay, so you're starting out with something sort of like a spiral. Then you're building out from there. And you're trying not to go right, left, but you're kind of just coming out and then behind, and then sometimes wrapping it around with the kind of, you know, general feeling that this is going to end up like a little sort of cup shape. And just keep building it out. Sometimes the leaves bend over like that, and into a general cup shape. And then you can always add little lines. Sometimes you have to add extras, but keep it loose. Then you can go back, you can thicken some of the lines. I like this kind of loose effect here. Not getting too worried about anything. So thick lines and thin and thick lines. A little line like that will help make that, sort of emphasize that cup shape. Makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? Just that little line right there. Sometimes you'll find it in a couple of spots. Know when to stop, however. Okay, add a stem and you're pretty much there. Thick and thin for the sepals. Don't have all 5 of them show. Make the top of the stem come right from the middle there. I think I'm a little off, so I'll make that a sepal, and I'll just get my stem here, straight down, a little wider, and then just pull your brush. Okay, happy rose painting. They're all going to come out different. That's okay. Enjoy. Try different brushes, try different thick and thin. Happy painting.